Hey guys, how's it going? Dragox55 here. And today we're going to be doing the Heart Earth Dragon deck recipe. Now, you might be looking at this and saying, what the heck am I looking at? Well, this is the Laval engine of Heart Earth Dragon, and basically this was requested by a buddy of mine, Doomsday I think it was. So, let's give a round of applause to him, and enough of that. And let's actually get into the deck recipe, because I'm pretty sure you all want to know what Heart of Dragon can actually do, and what this deck's true potential can do, which you'll see in a video after this, I guess. Anyways, so we play 3 Battle Faders. Basically, its thing is, if your opponent attacks you directly, you can special summon it, and then end the battle phase. Now this applies to if your opponent does a direct attack monster like Amethyst's Cat or a Spell Striker, just like my friend did and won a certain duel of ours. Well, we were on a team, yada yada, short, whatever, we won. So yeah. If your opponent attacks you directly, it ends the battle phase, and you special summon out this card, and this is a pretty nice thing to do. And one thing to say before I go on to the next card, if it's special summoned this way, then it gets banished, which is really nice, because Heart of Dragon gets boosted for every card that's banished. So basically playing a deck that involves banishing things, or cards that banish themselves, like Macrocosmos, Battle Faders, Quillball, I believe, Plague Spreader, just all the cards that are like, oh, you can special summon me, but then I banish after, basically helps out Heart Earth Dragon. Keep in mind, it's not just your opponent that you get more attack for, it's for you too, for each one of your banished as well. So, yeah, don't feel scared if your cards start to get banished. Anyways, you can use this instead of Handmaidens if it's out on the field. Basically, all you need to make sure is that you have 2 level 4s and a level 1 tuner. And then the other 2 monsters don't matter at all, so. Because you're going to use Galaxy Queen's Light and make them the level of Mistworm, so yeah. 1 Blaster, I usually would refrain from using any of the Dragon Rulers because I just don't care to use them. And I just feel like they're a little bit cheap, but in this deck, it doesn't work, doesn't lose synergy that bad. And basically, you can discard and a fire type monster, and you can destroy one fire monster. I guess fire types like Pokemon. And you can destroy 1 card on the field. Yeah, and destroy it, which is pretty nice because you can discard this card and Handmaiden, which I don't know exactly because I never really got the chance to do this. But this card and Blaster, and then you can basically destroy a card, and I believe since it was sent to the grave, you can use Laval, Handmaiden, and send Handmaiden, and Cannoneer, and even Lakeside Lady's fine. Never send Cannon, because you want to keep Cannon in the deck. So yeah. And basically, if you banish 2 fire monsters, you can special summon this card, which makes it even more crucial that you actually play this in the deck. Now, if you don't like the fact that there's a Dragon Ruler in here and you want to play decks where it doesn't involve Dragon Rulers, go ahead and take this out and throw in another Galaxy's Queen Light, or even I don't know, maybe, do I run Pod Duality? Yeah, maybe throw in another Pod Duality, or hand destruction. Dark world dealing's pretty nice in this too. But I'm telling you, it makes a big difference if you play this or not. So, yeah. 2 boost warriors. It can special summon itself when you have a face-up tuner. We don't play 3 because I need room, and drawing into this early on without any tuners makes it pointless. So, and basically it gains 300 attack for all warrior type monsters. So, yeah, it has to be on the field. Any warrior type monster on the field. So basically we run a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I believe that's all the ones that are warrior. Yes. So this card can get a total of 1500 more attack, which bring it 1800. But that's not why it's here. It's here for synchro support. Or you can make a slacker magician. Either way. We have 3 cannons. You can target one of your banished Laval monsters and special summon it. So what I like to do is either go for Laval Cannon, get Lakeside Lady, because that's usually the one that's banished, and then you make a level 7, or if you have a boost warrior, that's level 3, right? Yeah. If you have a boost warrior, make a level 8, which is pretty nice. Even going for a handmaiden and synchroing up into level 5s. Or going for Cannoneer and going for rank 4. It's like a bunch of very different options that you can go for, and it's really, really nice. Cannon is pretty much like an MVP of a deck when you already have like Heart Earth Dragon. Granted, you could just play this without Heart Earth and take out Galaxy Queen's Light and just do it however, but this deck really runs pretty good with a Heart Earth Dragon in here. So this card is basically, what I use him for is to make Scrap Dragon and then get Heart Earth Dragon's effect to go off and get him like super strong. But you can use him and synchro up XYZ or whatever into whatever you need. So next up we have Lakeside Lady, and before I go into that, it's pretty nice because if you use Lakeside Lady and Cannon and your opponent has a face down card, you can use Lakeside Lady and banish this card and destroy a face down card too. So basically you would go plus with these 2 cards already, so you'd have a lot of plays. Granted, if you go for Black Rose, you technically do the work already. So I mean, if you have nothing on your field and you need the Black Rose, then this is an option. And then your opponent probably set like a card to protect himself, and then you just blow it up with Lakeside Lady and yada yada yada. There's a lot of options. It's too much for this deck to explain. Lakeside Lady, by the way, if you have 3 or more Laval monsters with different names, you can banish this card and one other Laval monster, and it could be another one of these. Then you can destroy a set card your opponent controls. You do not want to send 2 of these at the same time. You mostly want to send non-duplicate, so like basically Lakeside and Cannon would be the 2 you would send, not Lakeside and Lakeside. So you have 3 cards that target set cards and destroy stuff, so really good. And it's level 3 tuner, so, and 200 defense, so you can bring it back from the grave. I think Boost Warrior was 200 also, so you can bring him back too, but I don't feel the need to do that. Next up we have 2 Cannoneers. You can play 3, but I think 2 is fine. Cannon is more of a synchro based card anyways, and you need him more than you need Cannoneer, which Cannoneer lets you send a fire type monster to inflict 500, and then you can activate Handmaiden, and then Handmaiden this. But you know, I don't really care for this effect. I just try to get him in the grave, and after that he's pretty much useless to me. Next up we have 3 Handmaidens. When this card is sent to the grave while you control while you have a Laval monster in the grave other than this one, you can send another Laval to the grave. Now here's stuff that you need to understand. This card does not activate if it's destroyed by battle, I believe. and if it was sent to the grave for a synchro, tribute, XYZ, or fusion summon. So you need to keep that in mind if you're running this deck, because a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, I could just synchro Mistworm and then send the whole thing. Doesn't work like that. Sorry to hurt anyone's feelings or something, I don't know. But yeah, if you're summoning another monster by using this card as that, it doesn't work. But if you XYZ and send it to the grave by detaching, or if you send it from the hand to the grave, deck to the grave, I think remove from play to the grave, so it works too. So yeah, that's the only time it works, so keep that in mind. It's not a mandatory effect, so yeah, I can see why it doesn't work. Actually, scratch that and just pretend I didn't say anything. Burial from a different dimension. Pretty nice to get cards back in the grave, so you can use rekindling wherever that is, right there. And basically you can also send Lakeside Lady to banish them again to destroy stuff, so you basically get 6 cards of destruction instead of just 3. One Dark Hole because of Rex Field, of course. 2 Galaxy Queen's Light. You need to run at least one of these for this deck to actually do what I'm trying to do. Keep in mind, running 3 of these, you tend to draw into them too much, and then it becomes pointless in having this, because if you don't have Mistworm, you can't use this card. So, well, you can use it for Blaster and then make a Big Eye or something, but I don't see why you would do that. So for this deck, in the terms of Heart of Dragon, we run 2 because 1 is not too often that you draw it, and 3 is too much that you draw into it. So having 3 of these is too much, having 1 of these is too little, 2 is just fine. And drawing into this is nice. And then once you get out Heart of Dragon, this card becomes useless. So yeah. Next up is 3 Molten Conduction Field, a staple for Lavals. Some people just take out 1 and put Dark World Dealing instead of it, but I like this because you get to do the following. You get to send Handmaiden and Cannoneer. Since you already have another Laval monster in your graveyard, you can send another Handmaiden and another one, and then you send Cannoneer. Then you would obviously, in the video, you saw that I did Rekindling, and then you would use Galaxy Queen's Light, then you would make Heart of Dragon, and then, well no, actually, you would use Rekindling, you would make Mistworm, then you use Galaxy Queen's Light, and bring out Heart of Dragon. And this is why I didn't want to explain this in the video, in the dueling or deck recipe, because it's very complicated to, well, it's not very, but it's kind of complicated to explain it. So yeah, basically, let's just go over to the combo a little bit. What you're going to do is use Molten Conduction Field, and you're going to send Cannoneer and the ball Handmaiden. Handmaiden activates, you send all of the other Handmaidens, and then you send Cannoneer, and all 5 of these should be in the grave. Next up, you have to use Rekindling, or if they're banished, use Return from a Different Dimension to bring back all these cards. Now, granted, we need a level 9 because Heart of Dragon needs 3 level 9 monsters. So first off, we need 1 level 9 monster because Galaxy Queen's Light lets us target 1 level 7 or higher monster and change every other monster you control to a level 9. So yeah, that's why we need 2 other monsters. So 5 monsters is needed. You need to use 3 of them for a synchro, and you need to make sure you have 2 after. So you would make you would synchro a Cannoneer with a Cannoneer and a Handmaiden to make Mistworm. Now, Mistworm lets you return 3 cards that your opponent controls to the hand, which is really, really good, because when I go into Heart of Dragon in a second, it will make a lot more sense when I go into it. It helps out the deck a lot. So once you have all 5 of those out on the field, have all 5 of those on the field, get Mistworm, then use Galaxy Queen's Light and target Mistworm, and since you still have 2 Handmaidens, you can make them level 9, and then you go for Heart Earth Dragon. Now your opponent's field should be cleared. If not, then don't worry about it. And then if your opponent sets or summons on their turn, you can basically use one of these materials and banish every one of your opponent's cards that was set or summoned or special summoned that turn. And your opponent can't stop this with using Draco Sack or anything like that, or Stardust. They could do it with skill drain and stuff, but that's not anything to worry about. And basically you want to do this 2 times so it has 1 material. And then next up you would get like Side Lady and Cannon and probably a Boost Warrior, and make a Scrap Dragon, which is over here. Scrap Dragon activate effect to destroy this card, and your opponent probably have a card by the time you make Scrap Dragon. Destroy this card and the opponent's card, and then since this card was destroyed by Scrap Dragon's effect, or a card effect in general, it can special summon itself because it has 1 material, and then it gains 1000 attack for each banished card, currently banished at the time of this card's resurrection. So basically you want to try to get 8 cards banished, but you can get a total of, I don't know, let's say your opponent somehow has a spam deck where they just buy 10 cards, 20, 2000 or 20,000 damage attack. With 2 of these would be, let's see, 20,000, 21,000, 22,000, 23,000, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Not to mention this card banishing stuff. I don't know, it gets over like 20,000 attack points. It's ridiculous how much attack points that card can get. And it can wipe out your opponent's life points in 1 turn, if you had that much cards banished, but you want to just try to get at least 8 and then just wreck field. It's very easy to get cards banished in this deck, so anyways, that's pretty much how the whole deck should play, and basically that's your whole main engine thing. 2 MST to get rid of back row, 1 Day of Peace to protect you from damage, 1 for 1 is pretty nice. You can send a monster from your hand to the grave and special summon 1 level 1 monster. So if you just can only get 4 of these guys out, you can get out the other Handmaiden, or even just get out a Boost Warrior. It's pretty nice. You know, whatever you feel like. 2 Pod Dualities to add a card to your hand. So you probably add the, I don't know, you just add something that you would need. Mostly I choose Galaxy Queen's Light, Rekindling, or I think that's pretty much it for that. So there was something else I was gonna say. Oh, right, don't add I tend to not add Cannoneers or Handmaidens, so I can use Molten Conduction Field and get them to the grave. So 2 Pod Dualities, gone over that. Reinforcing the army lets you add Cannon or Boost Warrior, pretty nice. Rekindling, you can special summon any fire monster with 200 defense, and during the end phase banish all monsters that were special summoned this way at the end phase if they're still on the field. So, and it doesn't matter if like you go ahead and do that, you would send 4 cards because you have Heart Earth Dragon or something, you know. It just helps out. As I said, it's easy to banish stuff, so 1 bottomless to banish Compulse to get rid of annoying stuff. Deprison because, you know, I mean it's limited to 2. If I could play 3, I'd probably play 3, but it's at 2. And unless it's banish stuff. As you notice, there's a lot of banishing involved in this deck, which is fine, because that's what we need from the deck anyways. 1 Mirror Force, destroy opponent's monster, and return from the different dimension to special summon all your banished monsters, or up to as much room as you have, and you just make a ton of synchros, and you would have this deck has so much damage output if you can actually pull it off in that turn. So 1 black. So for the extra deck, we have 1 Black Rose, 1 for level 7s, really easy, 1 Crimson Blader, just stop Dragon Rulers, I guess, 1 Formula Synchron, pretty easy to understand why this is in here. Use Booster Warrior and Handmaiden, or anything that you want to. Handmaiden, Battle Fader, sure, whatever. Draw a card, and then you can synchro on your opponent's turn, feel like, whatever. So basically, there's just these cards. I'm just gonna show you effects. Like this one lets you send a Laval to the grave and Handmaiden activate, whatever. You don't need to play these Laval monsters. You can play whatever synchros you want. Just make sure the only cards that I recommend you to play for sure is obviously the Mistworm, the Scrap Dragon, and the Heart Earth Dragon. All these other cards, and I would recommend Black Rose because why not? Anyways, so I would recommend that you play the Heart Earth Dragon, the Scrap Dragon, and Mistworm, and that's basically all you really have to or need to play in this deck. Granted, you just play Soul Taker and not Soul Taker, you just Dark Hole your own monster, and that works too. But you know, you don't want to waste Dark Hole, and Scrap Dragon is really nice in targeting certain cards and whatever, so yeah, it's pretty easy. So yeah, there's the effects. If I make a pure Laval deck, I will go over these, but these are just here because I don't know what else to run into the deck for extra deck, so yeah. This one's pretty nice because you do synchro a lot and you draw cards. And Formula, special summon after you have this, you draw 2 cards, so it's nice. This one's pretty nice, get level 4s back from the grave. I kind of prefer it over Armory Arm, but you can run Armory Arm for more damage input. Because if your opponent's just setting monsters after you get Heart of Dragon, then you can just use Armory Arm and destroy an opponent's monster and deal damage that way too. So yeah, Armory Arm may be in place of this, but I'm just running this for now. Lavable Chain to get Handmaiden in the grave and do a bunch of shenanigans, or even just add a monster to hand if I want to. Mostly for the milling though. Black Ship of Corn, I recommend this. I might switch this out from a Stroke, but who knows. And 2 Heart Earth Dragons because actually I might just run 1 because I can only make 1 in the deck, but it's totally worth it. Yeah, I should put one of these back and use did I guess so Emerald? I thought that was only for monsters, so yeah, I think I would change. I think I'm going to change Heart Earth Dragon just to 1 copy, but basically he's in there because you can make him. So yeah, 2 of them is not needed, just 1 of them is fine. but I just wanted to show you guys I'm running him. So yeah, so this is my Laval Heart Earth Dragon, and I hope Laval Heart Earth Dragon deck recipe, and I hope you guys enjoy this deck a lot. Make sure you go ahead and leave your comment. Oh wait, let me get a review. It is a definite 8 out of 10. Cards that might hurt this deck. Probably remove from play if you can't get out Heart Earth Dragon before remove from play happens. Like if your opponent's just banishing all of their cards in the graveyard, so you need to be careful of that. Cards that bounce back stuff is pretty annoying. So Penguins and Castellars. Another thing to keep in mind, which I actually didn't even go over this card. This card cannot be destroyed in battle. If it attacks your opponent's monster, this card does battle with opponent's monster. You deal damage equal to your opponent's monster's attack or defense, whatever, equal to the damage. You can detach to banish all cards your opponent controls at the time they normal, special, or set. And this card gains 1000 attack if it was destroyed while it had an XY. No, this card, when it's destroyed while it has an XYZ material, which I recommend you have one on there, you gain 1000 attack for each card that was banished. And it can't be destroyed by battle, so. And the only thing that I could worry about is destruction effects, because once it comes back after being destroyed, and it has no materials, then it's pretty much screwed, so. Keep that in mind. Anything that gets rid of Heart Earth Dragon might ruin stuff, so. I'm not really sure what else. Failure to draw cards can ruin the deck. You can run Gold Sark, but I don't like it. This card also fails if. Oh yeah, Evil Swarms wreck this deck too. If they go for Ophion, Crimson Blader, or even Vanity's Emptiness wrecks this deck. Any deck that stops special summoning. And banishing hurts this deck a lot too, so yeah, but you have so much destruction it doesn't matter, so keep that in mind. So that's pretty much it for the deck, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's definitely a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, and holy smokes, this video is long, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Go ahead and tell me your thoughts, and this is Dragox55 signing out.